Just yesterday, Anthropic dropped their new Claude Haiku 4.5. Now, Claude Haiku 4.5 is their latest small model and is available as of yesterday to all users. Just about 5 months ago, Claude Sonnet 4 was a state of the art model, but today, Claude Haiku 4.5 gives you similar levels of coding performance, but at one third the cost and more than twice the speed. Also, Claude Haiku 4.5 surpasses Claude Sonnet 4 at certain tasks like using computer. These advances make applications like Claude for Chrome faster and more useful than ever before. Although Claude Sonnet 4.5, released just 2 weeks ago, still remains their frontier model and is the best coding model in the world according to them. But Haiku 4.5 gives user a new option for when they want near frontier performance with much greater cost efficiency. And this also opens up a new way of using Claude models together. For example, you can use Sonnet 4.5 to break down a complex problem into multiple step plans and then use multiple set of Haiku 4.5s to complete subtasks in parallel. This is how you can use their multiple models at the same time and enhance work efficiency. Now we have an introduction of Claude Haiku 4.5. Let's jump into the benchmarks, and after that we can discuss the pricing plans. So here you can see the software engineering benchmarks, and Haiku 4.5 is outperforming Sonnet 4, GPT-5 and Gemini 2.5 Pro, and it is quite close to the GPT-5 codex model, as well as is not that far behind from Sonnet 4.5. Also, if you go to the agentic coding benchmarks right here, you can see that it's outperforming Sonnet 4 again, but with a much cheaper pricing, and you can see in overall benchmarks, it is quite on par with Claude Sonnet 4 and GPT-5, and it is relatively close to Sonnet 4.5, but with a way cheaper pricing. But one thing that you should know for any model out there, never trust the benchmarks. So what we're going to be doing later on in this video is we're going to be testing this out and finding out whether the benchmarks are actually accurate and whether it's the best value for money model or it is just hype and disappointment yet again. So wait till the end of the video and I will give my honest reviews about this model. Also, they are claiming that they ran detailed series of safety and alignment evaluations on Claude Haiku 4.5 and the model showed low rates of concerning behavior and was substantially more aligned than its predecessor Claude Haiku 3.5. Alright, so those were the benchmarks. Now let's talk about the pricing. So here you can see on the Claude docs, we have the model pricing for each model they have released to date. You can see the pricing for Claude Sonnet 4.5. It is around $3 per million tokens when it comes to base input tokens. But Haiku 4.5 gives you the same amount of tokens in $1. That's 1/3 of the price of Claude Sonnet 4.5. Then when it comes to cache rise, it's again 1/3 of the price of Claude Sonnet 4.5 and the performance is near best. And it only costs 10 cents per million token when it comes to cache hit, and output tokens is only $5 per million tokens, whereas Claude Sonnet 4 and 4.5 cost around $15 per million tokens. So the pricing is reduced to 1/3, and this is something that I would say the Haiku series is proud about. Alright, so we went through introductions, benchmarks and pricing. Now you must be wondering, where can we access it? So you can just go to Claude.ai and you can select Haiku 4.5 right here, and this is inside the free plan, so you can use it for free. Or you can go to KiloCode and pretty much install this extension inside your VS Code or your favorite text editor and use Haiku 4.5. Or you can go and sign up with OpenRouter and get the Haiku 4.5 API from there. But for this video, we're going to be using Claude.ai for testing out Haiku 4.5. Now, I'm going to be conducting 3 tests. The first one is going to be about web development. So I'm going to build a SaaS landing page. The second one is going to be about a browser-based operating system where I'm going to focus on the UI elements as well as how it clones macOS. Then the third test is going to be about how well it generates SVGs, because the last time we did a video on DeepSeek, these were benchmark tests, and I'm going to continue with these tests in this video as well. So without further chatter, let's dive right into the video and start testing Claude Haiku 4.5. Hi and welcome back to Skill Club. This is host Shamrez and we're finally getting started with this video. So we're going to start right off with our first test where I'm going to ask it to build a high value SaaS landing page and include as many features as possible. And let's go ahead and hit enter. So we're going to use Haiku 4.5 to build this landing page. And after it builds this landing page, I'm going to go ahead and test it out right here in the browser. So let's wait for the results. Alright, so there you go. We have our velocity IO right here. I ran into a couple of errors and I resolved it using the Claude Haiku 4.5. And you can see this is the landing page that it built for me. So we have the powerful features right here. We have core capabilities, and also we have some testimonials, the pricing plans. Okay, this is functional, but I think the design could have been way better. The footer doesn't look good. Alright, so this isn't the best result. I have seen DeepSeek do way better, and now I'm thinking that the claims about Haiku being close to Sonnet 4.5 are bogus. As you can see, this layout is a mobile way of putting things. On the desktop, you go horizontally. Also, there's no animation, and the color theme and the cards are way basic. To be quite honest, I was disappointed with this result. So I would say it is a fail when it comes to web development and designing. I wouldn't give it a pass no matter how cheap it is, because I've done a video on DeepSeek last week and it outperformed this one. Alright, so with that said, let's move to the next test, and I'm hoping that this time Haiku 4.5 can outperform my test results from DeepSeek. So this time I'm going to build a browser-based operating system similar to Mac OS or Linux. So let's just go ahead with our prompt and then we can talk about it. Build a browser-based operating system similar to Mac OS and make the UI really stand out and quite the clone of Mac OS. I also want to make sure that it adds as much functionality for a macOS clone. So let's just go ahead, and this time I'm just going to go ahead and hit the extended thinking right here and let's go. Alright, so you can see that it's building the browser-based operating system using React, and it has some to-do list right here. So it's going to add the Finder, Calculator, Notes app, Calendar, Settings, Weather, Music Player, and Terminal like app. Alright, so we have our final output right here. So we have some functional apps like Finder, Calculator, Notes, and we have some features in it as well, like draggable windows, minimizable or closable windows, also real-time clock and window stacking, smooth hovers, and responsive dock. Let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up Finder. Okay, this isn't the best. I can minimize it. This is the calculator. All right. Notes. I can start typing. Okay, it's working. Then we have the calendar right here. Okay. This isn't functional at all. Let's go ahead with music. The UI is really bad. There goes the terminal. Okay, the terminal is more like a dummy. Doesn't work. Then we have the settings. So we can just switch between dark and light. I think this is better. We have the battery here and the clone. Okay, so let's just close this. The terminal isn't working. The song player isn't working. Calendar isn't working. Notes are working, but not the exact clone of macOS. The calculator seems good. Yeah, it's working. Alright, so here are my final thoughts about this result as well. This could have been way better. And now I'm thinking that the Haiku 4.5 might as well be just a hype and not actually functional. You can go ahead and watch my latest update about the DeepSeek series, and you can see that it really did well in this test as well. It could have been way better. If you want accurate and outstanding results, I would not recommend Haiku 4.5. But still, let's go ahead with the last test where I'm going to generate an SVG code. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up a new chat, and here I'm just going to say generate the SVG code for a butterfly. Alright, so what I did in the last test with DeepSeek, I generated the SVG code and then I asked it to animate it, and it did an amazing job at that. So let's just go ahead and wait for this. Alright, this does look like a butterfly, but I don't know if it can actually animate this. So I'm just going to ask it to animate this butterfly now. Alright, this does look like a butterfly. We have the antennas and everything. But my overall experience with Haiku 4.5 when it comes to coding performance is quite bitter. I'm really not satisfied with the benchmarks and the claims. So I would highly recommend you guys to go ahead and try this out on your own and let me know how you feel about this new model that just got released by Anthropic. And also let me know in the comments below if you think that this might be the worst Claude Haiku model so far. With that said, I want to wrap this video up. I hope this video was helpful for you to understand whether you want to go for Haiku 4.5 and how well it performs when it comes to coding. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Ring that notification bell to never miss out on our daily updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Till then, stay curious and keep exploring.